What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is the Unfiltered Truth, and this is episode 2 in modern dating and relationships. Again, I've got with me Sam.
Hi, guys.
And we're talking about dating with or without kids. Now, I don't know about you, whether you're single or you have had kids from a previous relationship or marriage. But what happens when you start dating again and you've got to consider their kids or yours in the relationship? So let's get into it. Is dating with kids a deal breaker? That is the theme for our topic today.
Interesting topic you chose.
Let's get into it. Stop and listen up. The Unfiltered Truth is more than a podcast. It is a movement. It's a home for people like you who think differently and unafraid of honest conversations. So stop what you're doing and hit subscribe right now on both YouTube and Instagram. That's how we grow this movement. Make sure you're catching all the raw clips, the debates, and real-time conversations, whether you're on the couch at home, in the car on the way to work, or seated at your desk. Make sure before bedtime tonight, you are part of the movement. Let's get it. So what's your thoughts firstly off the bat, dating with or without kids?
Oh, different ballgame entirely. I think dating with kids, you're not as accessible to anyone. You can't do spur of the moment dates. You know, it's just a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, they say dating a single mom is like planning for the next month on this Tuesday at that time, which is not when any restaurants or anything's open, so it's a weird kind of dynamic. And I've come across where spur of the moment dates still happen, which, yeah, it's weird. But okay, let's go into the first question. Should single parents only date other single parents? So, if you're not single and you didn't have a kid, would you only date other guys without kids?
Not necessarily, but I'd be more favorable to guys that have kids, just because they have an understanding.
Oh, but just for the record, you do have a son, so it comes from there, I'm presuming?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I feel like only another parent would understand certain dynamics of why I need to cancel, of why I need to not be able to do certain things. It just makes things a lot easier.
I mean, that could be misconstrued because you canceling last minute is like, she don't want to see me.
But you see,
but you know, having kids myself, I'm also like, okay, cool, I get it. If the kids, like, if there's something that's happening, if you don't get a babysitter or they can't go to your mom or whatever the case is, then yeah, the date's not going to happen. So it becomes pretty tricky, which requires that you or that person have a good infrastructure around you. So you could actually go on a date. So if you're like, hey mom, or hey babysitter, I need you to come this day so I can go out on a date, then you know you gotta have that in order.
And never mind that, the patience. You know, I find that people without kids generally don't have patience for kids.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay. Why do you think that is?
Like as a parent, let's just use a typical example. You're on a call and the kids are running around doing their thing, and now you have to interrupt your call to discipline or reprimand or whatever it is. I find that people without kids have a short fuse for things like that.
That's an interesting perspective. Let me know in the comments if you're that kind of parent or that kind of single person. If you don't have kids, are you a bit short? Are you wanting to get done and do and whatever as soon as possible? Or if you are a parent, do you have more patience? I don't know, I'm a parent and my patience runs very thin because I've got 2 parrots that call me at the same time. And so at some point I was like, whoa, we can't do this. I only have 1 set of ears that hear at the same time. So if you want to talk to me, put your hand on my shoulder, and when I'm like there, I will give you the attention you require. Because also, you know, I've got to teach my kids a level of discipline, you know, not to interrupt. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So, okay, cool. Should single parents date other single parents? I mean, I don't think so. I think from my perspective, again, being a father, I have met single women who have been like, hey, I'm not sure if I'm ready to be a stepmom. And I was blown away by that response. I was like, wow, okay. And that led me on to the whole emotional maturity, because at the end of the day, if you don't have the appreciation for me being a parent, we're probably mismatched in some degree, which is a challenge because you want to have certain shared values. But hey, it doesn't mean that if you're a single person and you don't have kids, you don't have the emotional maturity as well. So I think that's fair to say. Okay, cool. Is it selfish to avoid dating someone with kids? I've actually seen someone saying on social media like, I ain't gonna deal with baby mama drama or baby daddy drama. I want a single guy who's never been married, probably never been kissed, and still a virgin. I don't know, some of the expectations are wild out there, but what's your thoughts on should you avoid dating someone with kids?
I'm an upfront kind of person, so I would much rather someone avoid me if they know their tolerance and they can't deal with dating someone with a kid.
And they're not looking to be a stepdaddy.
Yeah, no, I'd prefer somebody telling me to my face up straight, no, you're not my type because you have a kid. I would appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think that's fair to be transparent. You don't want to be, strung along and then eventually surprise, and then they're like, oh damn.
And I think it's fair to want certain things for yourself as well. If you're someone without kids, you want to date someone without kids, I think that's fair to want for yourself.
So you'd say it's a preference.
Yeah,
it's a preference. It's not selfish.
No.
Okay, fair. I think that's straightforward. How soon should kids meet the new partner? Yeah, this one's funny because I remember seeing someone who had a daughter, and the daughter loved me, and that relationship didn't last long, and it was a bit heartbreaking for me because I'm like, can't do anything about it now. So it is a bit of a tough one because you will establish bonds and a relationship with the kids. So what's a good rule of thumb, if I can?
And now for a quick word from our video sponsor, Opus Clip. Opus Clip makes it so simple and easy to take long form content like our podcast and turn it into shorter form content for our social media, taking the time and hassle at an affordable price. You cannot miss it. Click the link below as on the screen or go and take a look in our description box and make sure you jump in on the action if you also create content like we do on this podcast. You definitely don't want to miss out. Imagine turning your wildest ideas, a blog post, text message, or even just a concept bouncing in your head. Yep, that is what Opus Clip does. Most creators, solopreneurs, and business leaders don't have the time, money, or skill to produce high quality video content like this. Traditional video production means hiring crews, working with editors, or spending hours, and that slows you down. With Agent Opus, it is now possible. So make sure you get Opus Clip right now using the link in our description box and get started today.
So what's a good rule of thumb, if I can put it that way? When should you meet the kids?
So I have a certain belief with dating with kids is that you choosing to date someone, you choosing to invite somebody into your life and take the gamble of if it's going to work or if it's not going to work. But the risk should end with you and not include your kid or the other person's kids. You should never risk their emotions and their well-being for what you're choosing to do.
Sure.
So for me, I feel like invite the kids in when you've sort of worked through the messiness of the relationship and you know where this is going. I feel like there is a point in a relationship where you're unsure of, is this going to work? Is this going to meet the next few months?
Yeah.
So when you're certain of what direction this is going in, I think that's a good time.
Yeah. For me personally, I agree with that. Like, you don't want to get your kids in the thick of things because firstly figure out the two of you and then, have your kids develop over time a relationship or whatever. And in the beginning, if there is a scenario, maybe it's a birthday or whatever, let it be in a group setting so that it's not like, oh, that's dad's girlfriend or, whatever. Like if you're seeing it one-on-one too often, the kids will know. Your kids will know who you are. Don't mistake it. They'll know who you are. And let me know in the comments as well if you've introduced anyone to your girlfriend or boyfriend and it hasn't worked out, or if you have introduced him and it has worked out, and what were some of the challenges that you faced when introducing the kids too soon maybe to your new partner. The next question was, do men and women face different expectations? So, when it comes to dating with kids, is there different expectations of a woman than there is of a man? So you're a woman, single with a kid, what's the expectation?
I think I've met a lot of single dads, and I must say I take my hat off to them. They deal with the same struggles. I feel like as a single parent, you wear both hats. You're a mom and a dad at the same time. So in terms of expectations, I think it's pretty much neutral and the same. You're expected to be so much in just being a single parent. And then adding the extra layer of dating, it's challenging, but I don't think that it's that much different.
Well, I would beg to differ, because we don't live in a healthy, perfect society that has balanced views like you do. There's a lot of women out there, yes, I'm calling you out, because they'd say, yeah, but the dad doesn't do what the mom does. The mom must cook, clean, work, and provide, and then the dad comes and visits now and again. Now, everyone's circumstances are unique, but oftentimes they don't share that view. They always look at the man as like he's got it easier. And granted, like I said in the previous episode, and if you haven't watched that, go back and watch it, there is a lot of guys that act like a little bitch, that don't take care of their kids, that don't provide, that don't be active and present in the kids' lives. So I get that narrative, but I would say when it comes to dating with kids, guys have it a bit harder because they get scrutinized and criticized. If they start dating somewhere, they get asked, well, what are you doing with your current kids? Women don't get asked that question. But then again, women also have a tougher time, in my opinion, dating because, well, they're doing everything, because there's a lot of guys that aren't supporting. So it's a bit of a challenging situation from different perspectives, I would say. But I think, and this is not biased because I'm a guy, I've seen it where you share a healthy perspective, but there's a lot of women that don't share a healthy perspective about men, single dads as well, so I don't know, I see it differently.
I think I'm lucky to have met some single dads who gets home, cooks, cleans, does the whole 9 yards, still has time for bedtime and playtime and homework and all of these things. And I mean, that's tough. It's really tough to do all of those things as you're filling a different role. So it's remarkable.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Are childless partners, so people without kids, are they truly ever accepted in a relationship? So say, for example, you don't have a kid, but the guy has kids. Are you ever truly accepted, being the person without a kid? The person who doesn't understand the late nights and the routines and the school runs and so how does that work?
Again, I share a different view on this, and for me it's if you are about to get into a relationship, whether you have kids or don't have kids, but in this instance you don't have kids, and your partner does have kids, understand that there's a level of acceptance and responsibility that you need to take, right? Because at some point you're going to be the other adult in the home. You might not be a stepmom or a stepdad or a mom or a dad, but you're an adult and there is a kid around. So you do have a level of responsibility,
100%.
Just
you
as a
affect those
society
kids.
Yeah. So I feel like if you know that you can't influence in a positive way, love in a positive way, nurture, do all of those things, it's best for you to step back.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's fair, and like you said previously, you choose what you'll accept. You don't just jump into something blindly. But, it takes a level of emotional maturity to appreciate that perspective. A lot of people are like love struck and then they're dating because they're like, wow, you're so handsome, you're so well endowed, or your bank balance looks good. And then that's why they end up in a relationship. And then, oh fucking damn it, you got a kid. Now I gotta, and it's not that you gotta be the step parent. I mean, at some point, if you get married, yes, you have to be the step parent, but it's true what you say. There will be a level of influence. You are a person with a personality that will influence those kids. So yeah, I think at some point there has to be an acceptance. However, even in a marriage, as a step parent, I've seen people who are never accepted by the kids.
But then I'm going to ask this question. So I believe if you go into something with the right heart, kids are very intuitive, and they will let you in. They will bridge that gap with you if you both work towards it.
I would say yes for kids, but I'm talking about young kids. But then you get teenagers. That's a whole nother ballgame. And then you get adult kids too. So at some point, you know, relationships are complicated, man. There's so many dynamics. Young kids are, yes, they could assimilate eventually. Teenagers might be a tough run because they already have their own set mind and their set thinking, and you know. And then adult kids are like, well, that's a complete other person that's deciding, I don't like you for my dad because you cheated with him on my mom or something, you know. So yeah, anyway, those are quite some difficult ones. Did you want to add anything else?
Yeah, look, I think regardless of what stage the kid is in their life, you have a choice. You know, you can either never mind that, you know, just dealing with kids in general. I feel like if you have the right heart and you go into something open heart and with good intentions, you have more to benefit than anything else. And you might find that it turns out great. Yes, I am definitely an optimist.
I accept. She's so optimistic. But let me know if you are as optimistic in the comments. And let's leave you with a cliffhanger question for this week. Should your relationships be dictated by your past or your future? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks again, Sam. We'll catch you next time on The Unfiltered Truth. Take care.